In this segment we're going to talk about our tent stake pullers made by JackJaw. And we'll start off with the basic tent stake puller, the 301. It is designed to pull any stake from about 3/4 of an inch in diameter up to 1 1/4 inch diameter. This one, for example, is a rebar stake that is a 1 1/4 outside diameter on the stake. And you can see it's at a pretty steep angle, but it's easy for the 301 to do that. The 301 will pull anything that's any stake that's exposed. All you need is about 3 or 4 inches that's exposed from the ground, and you can go right up to it and grab on. Like this, basically. What you do is go to the high side of the stake, and you point the stake puller, the shaft of the stake puller, this we call the post, parallel to the stake. So it pulls the stake, that's the direction of force, and it pulls it easily the opposite way that the stake's in the ground. So what you do is put your foot lightly on the base and point this, and then just pull. Every time you raise up, it goes down and gets another bite, and it pulls the stakes right out. If you're trying to pull a stake from wet conditions, which sometimes you have to do, the only accessory you need with the JackJaw is a board, a 2x6 that's usually 15 to 18 inches long. And you use that as a base for the stake puller. And you simply put it down next to the stake that you want to do it. You can even be in ankle deep mud here. Put the base of the stake puller on the board. That distributes the load, and you start pulling. And this is our stake puller model 302, which is probably the most popular one. Like the 301, as you saw, it will pull any stake that's exposed. But in addition to that, it will pull stakes that are pounded flush to the ground or flush to a stake bar or stake plate for your clear span structures. And it's quite easy to use. You use it with an AC009 adapter, which I have here in my hands. And this adapter will fit most of our double-headed or even single-headed stakes that are on the market today. And the way it's done, what we do first, put the stake puller on the ground, pull your slide up like this, pull the pin, and then slide this up to the high position. That pulls the jaws up higher above the ground. Now to pull a stake like this, what we do, we put the base of the stake puller on the bar. That's important because it holds the bar down. And you put the adapter on the head of the stake. And then just grab the adapter and start pulling. A couple of pulls like this. 3, now the stake is exposed. So we can grab it from a different angle. So what we would do is go all the way around the tent, go to the next one, do the same thing on this stake. It's important you put the base on the stake bar itself, because that holds the bar down and it pulls the stake straight up without binding with the bar. Makes it very easy. You pull it up, you get those exposed. We would go, at this point, we would go all the way around and remove, if we just had one stake puller, we'd go all the way around the tent and bring all the stakes up this high. When we're finished, then we drop the stake puller back to the low position. You grab this again, put it on the ground like this, pull the pin, let it slide forward, put the pin back in, and then go directly again to the bar, on the bar, and finish the job. Just keep going all the way around the tent. Now what a lot of guys do with larger operations, if you have more than one, if you have 2 stake pullers, you can leave one of them set high, one of them set low. 2 guys can knock out a very large tent in just minutes.